Hello, good friends, good gaming friends of the internet, and welcome to Booghy Plays. Today, The Sands of Time. The Sands of Time is a civilization building game. The latest game from Spielworks, the German publisher. At the beginning of the presentation, let me tell you that I usually don't do presentations in English because I think there are enough for the majority of the games, and you can find whatever game you would want and you would like. But for this one, I haven't seen one in English, so this is why I'm doing it in English. I hope that the way I speak the language will not be a problem for all of you who want to see this game, see how it works, and see how it feels a bit. So this is Sands of Time. The setup is made for 2 players. This is the way I do the presentations. I will play with John and with Mary. A 2-player setup. The setup is very easily done. We seed the board in some sort of way. You have here a small sheet in the rulebook. It is in the rulebook, a small sequence where it tells you how to put everything in place. We start with, you see here are cubes, and I will tell you at the end which are the peasants, which are I haven't played with the cubes, and they might mess me up. That's why I chose to play with the meeples, because I changed the cubes for the meeples. So how do we I'll tell you at the end which is which, and how the game and what the game comes with, and I'll tell you what I like and what I don't like of all of these. So at the beginning of the game, like I said, everything it seeds differently for every game. You just shuffle these around, and then you put them here in the 2-player spot. We start with 2. We choose 3 provinces. We start with 2 peasants and 1 warrior. Then we choose out of the 3 provinces, we choose a capital, and the capital is not the city. And this is very important because the city will give you it can become a city at some point, but you have to build it. And the capital is important for these, which are the Chronicle cards. Because the capital gets better and better during the game. We build it, we transform it. So like I said, we start with 2. Oh, this one doesn't come here yet. We start with 2 warrior, 2 peasants and 1 warrior, and after we do this, after we choose our capital, we choose 1 more peasant to go wherever we want into our own areas. And I chose to go here, and she chose to go there. Okay. Now, theater was here. Yeah, doesn't. Good. What do you try to do in this game? You try to gain the most points. How do you gain the most points? Using these Chronicle cards. We have some cards here. We have the emphasis cards, we have the action cards, and then we have the Chronicle cards. Everything relays around this. This is let's say it's a puzzle where you have to work this puzzle to create the points. What is this? This is the Chronicle Board. The Chronicle Board, here we have 3 tracks. This is the civil track, this is the political track, and this is the cultural track. Our civilization can grow into be a more political one, a more cultural one, or a more civil one. And as you can see in here, we have some markers. These are some sandbags, some liras, our peasants and our warriors, our territories we've conquered, our capital, and our fountains. All of those are here. All of those markers are in here, as you can see, and you have to reach certain milestones, let's call it, during the game to score more points. And I'll show you how you do that. Also, there is a technology track for every track is in here. For the political track, for example, has a technology track, and here we have to advance. We had advance in technologies. That means we get better at what we can do and the way we can score more points. The game takes place for 3 dynasties. You can have 1, 2, 3 dynasties, and there are 1, 2, 3 here. When we pass this one, there are 3 scorings in the game. They managed to find, although the game is long, they managed to find a way to sneak up on you. This is the generation track. Whenever there is a die, and I'll show you how it works. There are I think around maybe 3 or maximum, I think 4 generations, around 4 generations, I think, for the first one. I don't think it's more, and then maybe 5, and around 5, not that many generations, but you have to think a lot of what you have to do. I think this is what do we have here? This is the Unrest Track. If our population is not happy, if what we do into our territories make the population unhappy, the Unrest Track goes, you see this fist, goes up. And if the Unrest Track goes up, it is not good. I can tell you it is not good. Also, you can do some additional actions, but this unrests the population. You can oppress, you can patronage, you can tax. And those actions will increase your unrest +1. The graphic design is pretty good. If you play 2 or 3 times the game, you're going to understand it pretty fast. Okay, now, like I said, let's try to play. I think it's enough for a preamble. Let's try to play the game. What do you do on your turn? I laid the cards in here. Like this. You have to hold it in your hand. You have to choose 2 cards which you're gonna play, and after you play those 2 cards, you advance this generation and the dynasty track 1 marker. And some things happen when the generation ends, and you'll see what. So let's play. John is the first player. What is he going to do? I think. Oh. One more thing before we start. At the beginning of the game, because we choose 1 caravan which starts from our capital, or if you choose one which starts from a city but is not adjacent to your caravan line, you advance on this track. And he chooses to advance here. She chooses to advance on this track. On the cultural track, he chooses on the civil track. Okay, and then we go. At the beginning of every turn, first we collect our income, let's call it like that. And for every city has a value. This is a complicated game, like I told you. So you need to grasp it first. You need to read the rules, and I hope from this presentation you can understand how it works. But there are a lot of concepts, and that's why it needs so much time to explain it. So every province, every area on the board has a value, and this is the value 4. The value 4 lets you hold 4 markers, let's say 4 markers of population. Lets you it gives you a value to the area, and it tells you how much income you get. So he gets here, for every peasant he has, not warrior, for every peasant he has, he gets 4 gold. Here, for every peasant he has, he gets 3 crops. So he gets 4 gold here, 2 crops here, and 2 crops here. He has 2 peasants. So he gets 3 gold, 1, 2, 3, and 4 crops. Yes? Yes, we're good. Mary, she gets 1, 2 crops here, 3 gold here, and 2 gold here. So she gets 2 crops, 1, 2. I don't like this. I tell you from the beginning I don't like this, and I will show you at the end how I do it. And 5, how much money? 5 money, yes? We put it here. Good. Now, yes. Now let's start. He doesn't have all that much money, so I think he will go there. He's not dead. Okay, I will tell you. Now we have to play. So in secret we choose 2 cards which we want to play. I laid them here because it would be easier for me to show you, but we choose in secret. So he chooses this card and this card. She chooses there like this. Put it like this. And then she chooses this card like this, and I think she's going to build because she has money, and this one. Good. Now we both turn our cards, and in turn order we do them. What he's going to do? He's going to muster. What does that? Oh no, I don't think he wants to muster right now. He first wants to, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to raid. First he's going to raid. Raid means you move all your warriors into adjacent territories. Adjacent means, you know what adjacent means. Here we are not adjacent. He is adjacent to this territory. This territory, Libya, is adjacent to Sicily and to Mauritania. Mauritania is adjacent to Hispania and Sicily and Libya. It's important where you start. Now you realize, I hope that's important where you start. Why? Because he can now, from Sicily, he can go to Hispania, and from these two are adjacent. This one is not adjacent here. In order to be adjacent here, you have to build a road in Mauritania, and this makes these two areas somehow connected, and that by these two being connected, this one becomes adjacent to this whole area, and you can come from here directly to here. Also from here or from here you can come directly to here, or from here you can come directly to here. If you build a road in one of these two territories, building a road gives you a lot of advantages. But now he only can move this one to this one and this one. And what do you do here? From Because he uses the emphasis on political, he can also unlock this action. Unfortunately, he gets a cube. You can get the cube here because you used this action. You made an emphasis on political and used the political card, so you can get a cube here. And unfortunately, she can. He could not go. Oh, he can. He can come here. Yes. Why? Because for every, in all territories, because he has this unlocked, on every territory he moved a warrior, he can get a good, and here he gets $2 and here he gets $1. So that means he has 3 plus 3, that's 6. You go here 5 and here 1, and this is why I don't like this track. It's stupid. I will tell you more at the end. Okay. If you use coins or something, you just get 3 more bucks. Pum pum pum, get 3 more bucks, and that's it. No, don't have to move all of these, which is unnecessary. But I'll tell you more at the end. Okay, he did this. So here he went on a ride. He got the goods, and if, for example, he could have gone here. He could have ridden this territory. This is her territory. It's a province of Mary. He gets the good from Mary. Mary has to give up 1 good, and he has to get 1 good. But he didn't do that. He came here for the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. A little bit of Tom Cruise and Cuba Gooding Jr. there. Okay, now he has taken the money, and what he did the action. He gets 1 cube because he used this. Her turn. What is she going to do? She's going to do this. She will not get a cube because he used a building action, but she can also does she wants to build? Oh no, she will build. You need to build. Oh no, she will not build right now. No, she will do something else. Stupid. It would have been a stupid move. She will do this. She gets a cube because this one is some sort of a wild. You can use it in all of the 3 actions. And for every territory you have, you pay 1 crop, and you can go as many crops. You can multiply that, and you, for example, she has 3 territories, so she needs to pay 3 crops. If she has 6 crops, he can get this X becomes a 2. If she only has 3 crops, this X becomes a 1. It's multiplier. If she has 9 crops, she has 3 territories. 9 divided by 3 is 3, so she can get the unrest down by 3. But no, she will get the unrest down just by 1. How many crops does she have? She has only 2 crops. So she will take the unrest down by 1. Good. And you will see why the unrest is good. And we have finished a first turn. This goes down. This comes here. Then we choose another 2 cards from the rest. And what will he do? He will do... He will do a annex. Does he have the crops? I think he has the crops, yes. He will do an annex. And then he will do a muster. This is what he does. Then, what does she do? What does this button do? She will do this one, which is a caravan. She will build a caravan, and then she will build something else. Does she have the money? I think she has. 2 plus 1 is 3. Yeah. This is good. I think it's good. This is very good, because then she'll do, yeah, it's good. And she can advance. Also, let me, at the beginning of the game, we choose a technology track which we will be on. So she has chosen this one. Oh, she has one more. She has chosen this one. And John, has chosen this one. And I'll tell you a little bit more towards the end of the. I'll try to play for the first generation and show you how the scoring works. And by then I hope you can understand the flow of the game. Good. What I was okay. So she's doing this. He's the first player, so he will do an annex. What does the annex do? You have to pay for every province or colony you have to pay one crop. He could also attack, but he doesn't have what to attack here. If you go on to another player territory, if he would have gone here, then he would have had to attack, but it is not the case. And attacking in this game, I can tell you, it doesn't happen a lot because it takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot of unrest from you. So this is not a very attacky game. It's more of a building your civilization and building it better than the rest of you. There is a little bit of interaction, but it is not the best thing to do to go into someone else's face. If you want the game where you build and you have a technology tag, this is not the one. I can think of other games, but not this one. The attacky feel, it's more of a he might attack me more than he attacks me, and this is the same. It is good to have a military, but it is not the best thing you could do for yourself, I think, in my experience with the game up until now. Also, so he gets to this, he places another cube because he uses this action, and he has 3 territories right now, so he needs to pay 3 crops, and he has 4 crops. He goes back to 1, and he will annex this territory, and he will do that. Okay, how do we take a marker and we put it here, and this is his colony. Good. Now he will do a master in one of his territories. He gets another cube, and that he gets when you put 3 cubes, you get a +1 on the political track. So he will go here. He has 1, and it is very lucrative to be on these tracks, and I'll show you why. He annexed, and then he masters. You can, in one territory, you can put a warrior. You get 1 warrior from the supply, and he comes here. And you can transform, because he uses the emphasis on political. He can use these. He has unlocked this brown action. Usually, if you don't use this and you want to use a brown action, you have to have this unlocked, which is here. For example, here, if you go on this track and you have reached it here, you have unlocked all of these actions on your cards, and you have similar ones. Let's see. Look. You need to reach on the 3rd stage. You need to reach despotism on this technology track, on the civil technology track, and you have also unlocked on the cards mainly the possibility to build a city, which is this one. Every time, you don't need the emphasis card. I hope this makes sense. Likewise, in here at some point, look, you have to reach democracy. If you reach this, you have unlocked all of these blue actions on your cards. You don't have to use emphasis before. Otherwise, you cannot access them if you don't use emphasis on that. Good. Now, let's see. Whew. This will make your brain melt. Oh, okay. And because he unlocked this action, he can transform any peasant into a warrior, or any warrior into a peasant, and he will transform these two warriors into two peasants. You fought enough, the good fight for our country, for our empire, and now they want to be simple farmers. And now they are farmers, and they bring us gold at the beginning of the next generation. What does she do? Okay, and he finished his actions. She will get another cube here. She will build a caravan. How does she build a caravan? Well, let me show you how she builds a caravan. She will take one of her markers, and she comes. You have to build your caravan from either from a city or your capital, or it has to be linked to your caravan system. So he has a caravan here. He can build a caravan in here. He can build a caravan in here because it's linked to the city, or in here. These are linked to the city. This, for example, is linked to his caravan system. But he will go here on this trading route. This bag means it is a trading route. And this one, whenever you put a caravan on a bag, you go one more further on this track, and she will go here. Or does she want to be on the civil? I think she will stay here for the moment and come here, a +1 on the civ track, and you'll see why. Then she built a caravan. She pays $2. She has 5, so if the 5 goes away, you go 3 here. And she can also pay 2 crops. No, she will stay here. No, she will stay at 5 and pay the 2 crops. She paid the 2 crops. You can pay either 2 money or 2 crops. And you can build. And here, she can build one building. Let's see what she can build. When you build a building, you have to pay the unrest level, which you're at. That means she's at 2 right now. And the level of the building you are trying to build. For example, if you are trying to build a level 4 building, you have to pay 4 plus 2, $6. She has $5, so she cannot build a 4, but she can build, let's see, I think she will build a level 2, which you have this nice cheat sheet, player aid, which shows you every building what does. And she, for example, culture, a library. The player receives a +1 heritage in any one category. Should the player lose control of the territory of the library, lose control of the territory containing the library, he reduces his position on any one heritage track by 1. Now, she will build her library, which is a 2 plus 2, a 4. She remains with $1. She could build a 3, and I think she will. Yeah, she'll build this one. She'll build a 3. She'll spend all her money. That means a 3 plus 2, it's a 5. She will spend all her money, and she will build an amphitheater, which comes here. Now, her capital is at level 3. As you can see, on these cards, I will show you the cards very, very soon. I'll show you soon. Now, let me show you. Good. She built this. She built. She has no more money. She did this. Now, we advance here. Now we advance here. What do we do? When we get to here, we will use a die. And the die end up being a 6. What does that mean? If it would have been a lower than 3, the generation would end. That's why you don't use the die when it's a plus, because you cannot have lower than 1 on a die. So if it's a 3 or plus, if it's a 3 plus, like it shows here, the generation continues. That means we continue to use these cards. So let me put these here. Oh, let me tell you one more thing when we're building. When you're building, you are allowed to build maximum 4 structures per area, per province, and they have to be all different structures. You cannot build 2 of the same structures. Also, in a 2-player game, I don't know what is on the other ones, you are allowed to build only 4 of each, except cities. I think cities and fountains, I think you can build as many as you want. Other structures are limited to 4 per 2 players. So if a player builds 3, you can only build 1. The other player builds 3, you can only build 1. Now, let's go back to see whatever. And because she built an amphitheater. Let me show you what the amphitheater does. It says, provides 1 Lear symbol. When using the build, conquer, or caravan action in this or any adjacent area, the cost is reduced by. This is locked ability, because you can unlock this ability when you find that the democracy, which I showed you in the cards. If you advance on the technology track and you have here, if you advance here and you find this, and you are on it, then you unlocked the ability of the amphitheater. But now it just provides us 1 lira symbol. Good. Now, one more thing, because she built a building in the cultural building, which is an amphitheater, she can get another cube here, because, like I said, she built on this one, which is the emphasis one. So she gets another cube. This is another way to put a cube here. So you can you don't need to have 3 icons here of the same type. You can build a building which has emphasis on the color. I hope it's clear enough. Good. And this gives her another one here on this track. Good. And now we choose, we ended again the turn, and now we choose again. Well. She needs to do, and she will. Let me see what he does. I think he will. Can he build? How many money? Oh, he has $6. This is what he will do. He will take the build action. And then he will. How many territories? Let me see. 1. He needs to have 4 territories. That is good. But if he goes for 5, he can get more points. But he's only at 1. Yeah, he will play this card. Good. And then play a card. So he uses this action, the build action, and then oh no, he'll do a Chronicle card, but not this one. Where is he at 1? Yeah, he'll do these 2. Okay, good. Then he'll do an action card, a Chronicle card. Good. He cannot build. He will build something else. Good. He cannot build. I wanted to build a city for him, but he cannot build a city because you need to have emphasis. Like I told you, you need to have emphasis on this, and you can only play 1 emphasis card per generation. And he already played the political one. Now he needs to build something. What will he be? Oh, and she let me choose. I think she will use this one because she can. She will. And then what else can she do? She will take this action again. Does she have 2 money or 2 crops? She doesn't have anything. So she might move. Yeah, she will ride also. Good. So he will build. What can he build? He can build anything for, I think he has $6. So his unrest is at 3. So he can build a level 3 building. And he will do that. In his capital, here, he will build, oh, it's sorry, it's the third, yeah, it's his turn. What will he build? I think he will build a level 3. Level 3, let me see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I think it's an aqueduct. Let me see what this does. This aqueduct provides one fountain. The capacity of each adjacent territory by controlling player is increased by 1 for citizens. Okay, we will build this structure. This is an aqueduct, and I'll tell you right now what it does. And it says, for the capacity for each adjacent territory, not including this one, that is also controlled by the controlling player of this territory, is increased by 1 for citizens. Like I told you, this is the maximum capacity of these territories. Yes, this is 3, this is 4. Because we have built an aqueduct here, this becomes a 5, this becomes a 4 for the citizens. For the citizens, not for structures. For structures, it remains the same. Okay. Now, so this one becomes, like I told you, becomes a 5 for citizen, and this one becomes a 4. And this will cost him exactly 3 plus his unrest, which is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6, and he goes here. 5 plus 1 is 6. And that was it. Good. He did this, he built, and now he will play a Chronicle card. And he will take, we have these Chronicle cards. And as you will see here, we need it to be a 2. How do we manage to take a 2? I don't think so. Oh, we'll see. These cards, as you can see here, will have a number from 1 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. From 1 to 7. You need these symbolizes the level of the track you have to be here to manage to play this card. For example, now he is on the civil one, he's at 1. So he can only play this Chronicle card, which is this one. What does this say? The level of the city must be at least 2. And you have, if you play it here, in the capital, not city. The capital level must be at least 2. His capital level is 3 right now. The level of the capital is the sum of the levels of the structures in it. So this is a 3 level. So he can use this card, and he will turn it, and at the end of this he will get 1 point. Or I think he will do something else. He will prepare better and not use this card. I think he will go for the 3 one. He'll go for the 6. I think he will manage to go up to 3 here. Now he's at 1, but he will be able to go up to 3 here, and up to 6 at his capital level. And he's gonna put this card here. Is in secret. Nobody knows what I did. And this is the way you play the Chronicle cards on the Chronicle board. Good. And then you set them aside because they're messy. Okay, I can tell you the game is a bit fiddly. It is a bit fiddly. Now, this is what he did. Now what she does, she will advance, and this is why it's important to have very low unrest at the beginning of the game. She can do two things. If her unrest level is on the specific track lower or equal to this, to the heritage track. This is the heritage track. This is the technology track. This is the heritage track. So now she's at 3. Her is 2. So her unrest is smaller than her heritage track level. So she can do two things, because she played an emphasis on culture. She can unlock this one, and she can take another marker and she can put it here at the beginning of the next one. What does this give her? A lira symbol for every marker she has on the board. So she has 2 lira symbols right now, and 1 lira symbol here. This is another thing that I think they should have done, and I'll tell it again at the end. They should have made for every player, and instead of these, they should have made tracking like how is it called? Also the Civ building by the Czech designer, Through the Ages. Like Through the Ages, tracks to track your liras and your fountains, because you have to track it every time. You have to add it up. I will tell you at the end. Because right now she has, what does this say? This says for every marker you have 1 lira. So she has 2 markers. That means 2 lira plus 1 lira here from the amphitheater. She has 3 lira at the moment. And then you're gonna build more buildings which will give you more liras, and you have to track it every time you build 2, because you'll forget. And this is annoying. Good. Now let's go to what she used this, because this is an or. You cannot use them both, or, but she unlocked, so she could do this, and then she will ride. Oh, where does she need to ride? Or she could have, I think she will master right now. Oh, to master you need to pay $1. Yes, did I pay $1? I hope I paid $1. If I haven't paid, I'm sorry, but you need to pay $1 for the master action. So she cannot do the master action. So she will do the ride and get the. Let's see where she could go. She can go from here. Ooh, she'll go here. She will go. Oh no. No, she cannot. So she'll go. Oh yeah. So 1 here, 1 here. This will go here, because this is adjacent here, this is adjacent here, and this is adjacent here. No, it's okay. She'll have a lot of crops. Nah, that's the game right now. Okay, and she after that, after she gets 1 for in 1 territory. She cannot do this one in all territories. Only in 1 territory she will get 1 good per warrior she has. So she chooses this territory and she gets 2 crops. She gets 2 crops, which I don't know. Well, she'll see. Now, what does she do? She did both actions. He did both actions. Now the generation ends. This one comes here. This one comes here. What happens now? We take the die. We roll it, and it's a 4. 4 lower than 5. That means the generation ends. What happens when the generation ends? We have it here in the player aid. in the player aid, and the player says, check for population growth. The population growth did not happen yet. We have to reach this marker for the population to grow. So that did not happen. Check for overcrowding. What is overcrowding? Like I told you, here I have, this is a 4. It can hold 4 meeples, 4 population markers. So here I have a 3, here I have a 4, here I have a 3, here I have a 3, 2, 2. So we're all good here. In the territories you control, it's important. For example, no, let's look at her. This is a 3, this is a 2. So she doesn't have overcrowding either. You can, for example, like I said, raid a territory which is not yours, which is one of your opponents. Yeah. For example, if at some point he will go here or here, no, if he'll go here and raid this territory, and she has more peasants or warriors in here, and it's overcrowd, this one counts for overcrowding. So you can overcrowd some people to help them get some unrest. I think this is more of a common move than an attacking one. You can let's say the attack is a bit more peaceful in this game than it usually is in a big civilization game, building game. Good. Now let's see. We checked for overcrowding. We're not overcrowded in any place. If, like I said, if you are overcrowded in one of these places, you get 1 unrest on the Unrest Track. Unrest Track. Even if you have overcrowding in all of your territories, you get only one unrest. So if you need to get unrest, it's better to be overcrowded in more territories than just one, because then you're gonna feel, oh no, in one territory I get 1 unrest. Because unrest, like I told you, is important to not be that high, so you can go up on the technologies track. Now let's go for, we did this. We check for end of dynasty and chronicle scoring, which is not the case. We haven't finished the dynasty finishes here, so we don't do the chronicle scoring. We go back, this one goes back, this one remains here, and we play the cards. We take out the cubes, the cards go back in our hand. This one I will arrange them here on type, because, well, I like having them well sorted out. This is I'm sorry, but it will be fast. Good. Now she will, this one in here, this one in here, this one in here. For example, I would have preferred a board with all the actions and maybe a shield in front of it, so the people cannot see what actions you take. Because with the cards, I can tell you, you hold them in your hand and you just move. That's why I sleeve them, because you move them around a lot. You have to play a lot of times the game to really remember all the actions. And if you have them like this laid in front of you, I think they're easier to find and easier to do. I usually let them like this. I put my hands like this, and I have 2 cubes, and I choose my 2 actions, and it's faster. I find it faster. Okay, now we go from the beginning. We choose, it is her turn for a new one. Pair 2 cards, play another turn. Good. What do? We get the resources. He gets $4, $2 per 3. He gets $5. We lose. If we had any resources, we lose them. And bye-bye. And we get new resources. So he gets $2 here, $3 in here, $5, and 2 plus 2 and 4 crops. So he gets $5 and 4 crops. What does she get? She gets a... Oh. She gets like this. Sorry, I was thinking of this more right now, sorry. So she gets $2 plus 1, 2, 3, $5 and 2 crops. $5 and 2 crops. Because he annexed in territory, he gets more stuff. So it's good to annex. It's good to have more territories. On the other hand, when you need to do some things, you need to pay more crops for each territory you have. It's a balancing game and you need to balance everything out. Okay, now I know this is not the most professional thing which I've seen now Americans do. It's all big tables and your logo and everything and things like that. But for me this is a fun thing to do, and I do it for fun and trying to grow the hobby here in Romania. So if this you don't find it the most professional thing you see, is because I don't try to make it this way. But I do hope that the content is good and clear enough and you can see what happens and you can understand how the game flows. Now we're here, we're here. 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's good. Now let's start. What does she want? She's the first player, so she will she needs to advance. Now you start thinking, after you set it up a little bit, you start thinking which way you want to go. So she wants to come here. She needs more liras. So she will use the emphasis on this one again, or she will want to build, which want to expand a little bit. I think she would want to expand a little bit, and then because she's at 3. Okay, now she thinks, I want to score some points at the end of this. This will come fast, so I need to score some points. Where can I score points? And she thinks she will score points on 1, 2, 3. This is a 3. She needs 7 liras, and now she has 1, 2, 3. Yep. She will do this. She will use the emphasis again on this one, and then she will do this one. Because she used this, she gets a cube, and she will come in here. This one gives her 2 lira symbol. She came in here, gives her 2 lira symbol more. So now she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She needs, I think, for 3. She's at 3, so she can use the 3 card, the 6 points card. So she needs 7 liras. She now has 5. So she needs 2 more. That's good. That's good. She's going to have 2 more. $5. That's good. Now, what does she do? What does he do? He will. Usually at the beginning of the turn, you'll play an emphasis card up until the moment you're gonna reach one of these. On the track, on the technology track, which is aggression or I can't remember all of the name, but you can understand what I'm saying. Until you've reached those, you will need to play emphasis so you can unlock these actions. She's okay. You always look here on the prerequisite, which is the unrest smaller than this. She's okay. She's at 2. She's at 3 there on the heritage track. So Hmm. Let me think. Let me think. Let me think. Let me think a bit. E2. E2. I'm watching some. Yes. So. Okay. Sorry for the small thinking. So he will, I think, go further on building. And he'll use this emphasis because he wants this, and will take a cube because he will do a building action. He will build a city. How do you build a city? You pay the unrest level plus the level, because the city doesn't have a level. Where is the city? As you can see here, a city does not have a level. So he needs, he has, how many bucks he has? He has only 5. 2 plus 3 is 5, yes. And his unrest is rather big. So he will take his, he will play his crops to go down 1. 2 plus 4 is 6. Yes, that's what he's going to do. First things first. He will take his unrest down by 1. He will still take the cube because this one has this symbol here. This is the jack of all trades when it comes to symbols. He will pay 4 crops and go down 1 here. And then this ends. They played the 2 cards, this ends. What does this mean? We have reached the population growth. At the end of the the generation, we need to grow our population. Now, we should take 2 more cards, and she's the first one. I think she needs to build more liras, so she will take the build action, and then she will take the caravan action. That's good. Now, what does she do? What does he do? He will take the build action right now, and then I think he will advance also, that he can advance. How many fountains does he need? Yeah, that is pretty good. He will advance. Boom. Now she does the first. She will build. What does she wants to build? She wants to build a... I think she wants to play a card first. First she'll build a caravan, and I think now she wants to play a card. Where's the cards? I think she will play a card. 4, 5. No, she needs it. So she needs the build, and then to play a card. She needs the build. Okay. What do you take? How much money does she? She has 1, 2, 3, 4. She has 5 liras with this one. That means she needs 7. She needs 7. She needs 2 more liras. To have 2 more liras, she needs a university. The university gives her 2 liras, but it costs her plus 4 plus her unrest is 2, 6. Does she have 6? No, she doesn't. She has 5. But she will do this. Anytime during the game, you can take one of these three actions. So she will do an oppress. What does an oppress mean? At the end of the turn, you will get one unrest, but you will get one good for every peasant in an area of yours. So she will get some money out of it. So she will get $3. $3. 3 more bucks. She. 1, 2, 3. And she will put this in here, in her capital. Now her capital is 4 plus 3, it's a 7. Right now she has a 7 value capital. She's very cultural. He's more civil, she's very cultural. Okay, 4 plus 3. Is it 7? It is 7, it is 7. Whew. Now, okay, now she needs to play a card. She needs to pay. That is a 4 plus her unrest is 2 right now, so she needs to pay 5 plus 1 is 6. She has 8. She remains with 2. This is why I don't like this one. For example, he had 8. She needs to pay for 6. So 5. She had 8. She has to go to 2. I find it fiddly. And if I do, I don't know, if I do like, if I'm not, it can move these, and I don't like that. Now, because she took the unrest, she has to take it, and now she's at 3 level. Okay, now, and now she can play a Chronicle card, and she will play, she's at 3. She's at 3. She needs. Now she has 7 lira because this one gave her 2. So she will play this 3, 6, 7. She will play this card because she's allowed to play it. At the end, you can at the end of the, you can put whatever card. She can put right now this one. At the end of the dynasty, she needs to be on 5 on the heritage track, on these 3 tracks. She doesn't need to be right now, but if she is not, she will not receive the points. So she will play this one, which gives her 6 points. She will put it here, and that's it. Now let's see what he does. Let's put it like here. He builds. What does he would like to build? He has $5 also. 1, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 plus 2. Yeah. He has $5. He can build. He can build a city, and he will build a city. Plus 2 is 6. Oh no! He needs one more buck also. He has 2 plus 3. He will do the same. He will take $3. She would have taken from here $3. I think I've shown from him. He takes from here also $3. He gets an unrest. He will get an unrest at the end of the turn, and he gets 3, 5 plus 3, and then he will build this city. This city is the value of the region, which is 4 to build it. 4 plus your unrest, and his unrest right now is at 2, so he needs 6 like this. So it's 5. He goes at 2, and now he has a city, and I put this on him, and I say that the capital has finally become a city. You cannot build, like I told you, 2 structures of the same type in the same area. Good. He did this. Now the value of his capital is 4 plus 3 is 7. The value of his capital. And he went down here and he said that his value is going to be 6 at the end of the dynasty. That's good. That's good, that's good, that's good. Now he needs to get on that. Because he built a city, he can put 1 more cube in here. And now he can advance, and he will advance, I think. Where? I think he... No. In here. He wants to advance more. He'll try to advance more. He needs to advance more. Oh, no. No. No, he will not advance. Stupid Bogdan. No. I'll show you why not. He will do something else. He will build a caravan. He will build a caravan. Why? Because it will help him. And to build a caravan, he needs to pay 2 crops or $2, and he has $2. And he will build a caravan. Let me take a caravan from here. On this trading route, and that will give him 1 more here. And now he's at 2. He needs 1 more. He hopes for the best in here. They did both of their actions. Now we go here and here. It's close. It is very, very close to the end of the dynasty. We take the die. Let's hope it's a 3. That means we go 1 more. It's a 3 plus, so we go 1 more turn this generation. What does she do? This is going to be cool. We'll see. I think it's going to be good for the presentation, for everything, the way it turns out. Now what does he do? He built this. He wants, and it's her turn. She's the first player. She will. Oh, he needs to take the unrest at the end of his turn. He took it because he oppressed also. She can build. She can no. She cannot build. She can, and she will. You can take during the and the game starts to be more thinky and more thinky and more thinky, because now where I'm going, because you need to find a balance somewhere, because you cannot only go I mean, you can go heavy on a strategy, but you need to have a little bit on the side also, because you can score a lot of points on one strategy. I mean, you can go, if you can go very long for liras, for example. Let me show you. You can get if you manage to get 25 liras, you can get 28 points at the end of the last chronicle when you reach 7 on a heritage track. But you need also to be good on the civil track a bit, or on the on a political track, heritage track, because it will give you a bit more, maybe 1, 2, 3 points, one or 3 points, or maybe 6 points, which can win you the game. It is like I told you, it has a lot of levers to pull, so you need to be careful and very, very efficient with your actions. Now, what does she want to do? She's set for this one, so she's okay at the end of the scoring. But I think how she can, because she's there, she will take this one. Her level, yeah. She will want to play this one. She already played this card. You need to play 2 cards. If, for example, you want to play a card which is already played, you need to take one of the cards you haven't played, play it, and then take one unrest and use one of these cards you already used. So let me see, what does she want to do. She will take this one, and she will take her unrest by 1 down. Then she will take 1 unrest and play another card, and she will play her capital level is at she's at 7, so she could use this card So she could use this card. She needs to be 2 on that track. This is risky. I can tell you this is risky. I think she will go for 1 point. Why? Because she doesn't know if she has the possibility. Now this one goes to up to 5. If you roll the die, there is more chance to be less than 5, the die roll. So the generation will end, and she will not be able to move this up here to 2 on the heritage track, so she can score those 3 points. So it is a safer bet to go for the 1, which she's already at, and put it here. It is, so like I said, it's a safer bet to just go in here and put it on 1. So this is what she did. What does he do? So she gets 1 more cube in here. What did she build? Let me see, what did she build? She built the amphitheater, so she gets 1 more cube. Because she built here the amphitheater, I forgot to put 1 more cube here. So she will go here up to 4. She's very good on culture right now. She needs to grow a little bit more during the game, either on this one or either on this one. Now, what will he do? He will play a card, because he can also. And then he will, I think he can advance. He will do this one. Yes. So he will, what does this say? You can take from your colonies a tribute. So he has a colony here, he can get $2. Ooh, I could have used that. Well, that's life. So he gets $2. And then he gets another cube, and he goes up here on the 3, and now he's safe. He's 3 on what he wanted to do. This turn the generation might end, so it's more safe to do this. It's safe to do this. And then he will play a card. He will play this 1 card because he has 4 territories, and he is on 1 here. He can play this card. So he played it there on territories, as you can see. And that's it. They both did their actions. Now we go here. So the dynasty ended. We are now at the 2nd dynasty. We take the die. It's a 1. So the dynasty, the generation ended also. This one goes back here. And we do what here says. Oh my god. What does it say? Check for population growth. We have population growth. We were past this one. So every territory gets 1 more. Peasant. So I have 4 territories. John has 4 territories. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you get 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Also, she gets 1. She has 3 territories, so she gets 1, 2, 3 peasants, 2 and 3 peasants. Where is the 3rd little meeple? So she gets for every territory 1, 2, 3. Now we check for overcrowding. We don't have overcrowding, I can tell you, because 4, here is a 3, here is a 4, 4. So here is a 3. We don't have overcrowding. Most important, we have an aqueduct, which gives us +1 for population. Good. So we're not. Now check for end of dynasty and chronicle scoring. End. It's end of dynasty, and we do the chronicle scoring. We get the cards, pom pom, and we score. So she's at level 1, so she's allowed. She's at level 1, and she has at least 2. She's at 7, so she gets 1 point. 1 point. Now, that's it. And then you get of course, you put the cards back here. You can use them for the next dynasty. Him, what did he do? This is his card. I've forgotten what I put in his card. For his card, he needs to be at 6 and the level 3 on the heritage track. So he's at level 3 on the heritage track. He has his capital level is 4 for the city and 3. That's at 7, so he's okay. So he gets 6 points. 6 points. Good. Now, we go for the political track. He needs to be 1 on the heritage. He needs to have 4 territories. So he has 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes. So he gets 1 point. Get the card back. And then we go here. She needs to be a 3 on the heritage track. She's at 4 right now, so she's okay. And then she gets she needs to have 7 liras. So she has, for every this one has 1 lira. 1, 2 liras, 3, 4 liras, 5 from the amphitheater, and 2 from that's 7. She has the minimum, and she gets the 6 points. Here. So they're both tied right now. At the end of the game, the one who has more territories, the one who has less unrest, gets some. So if this would be the end of the game. She has less unrest, so she gets 3 points. He has more territories, so he gets more points. 3 points, so it's equal. At this moment, it's more or less equal in the game. Phew! This has been a long one. For you who have managed to follow this, and after that you prepare for the next generation. After you do all this scoring. So turning back, for you who have managed to have the patience to watch this, I hope you could have followed the game, and you could understand how the game flows. And if I have made mistakes, I hope I did not make mistakes. The only mistake I think I made was by telling you that you can build as many structures as the value of the territory is. This is, I think I said 4, but I think you can build only the structures the number of the territory allows you. That's why it's good at the beginning, one of your capitals to be the capital must be on a bigger level territory. Other than that, I hope I did not make rule mistakes, but if you have found them, please write them and I'll try to notify. I'm a bit spent, so let's try to have some final thoughts on this big game. These are the sands of time. Like I said, the latest game from publisher Spielworks, German publisher. I have some thoughts on this game. Let's start with from the beginning to say that I find the game interesting. I wouldn't have even bothered to do all of this if I didn't like the game. It is a bit, let's say, not everybody's cup of tea. No, but not everybody's going to like it, because it has a lot of rules which makes start to make sense in the moment that you play the game more and more. So it is one of those games which you have to play to get to try to understand it and fully get the experience of it. I can tell you now that I've played. I tried to film this. This is the second second time. It is a beast, with some bad takes in between. The second time, this time went rather smoothly. I hope it went smoothly for you too. Let's take it step by step, as I usually do. I have my cheat sheet here because I can't remember all the time. So let's talk about. I will talk about the good things and the things which I do not like. I will start with the with the rulebook. You can learn the game from the rulebook, but I don't find it the best rulebook there is. It's not the level of, I don't know, Lacerda games rulebooks. It is not the mess that Cole and Colonia was, but you'll find, I think, everything you need to learn the game from the rulebook. We didn't have. This is the first game I learned from the rulebook, because it didn't have any presentation, any review, nothing. It doesn't have anything on the internet. So it is the first game I learned strictly from the rulebook. I mean, read the rulebook, and I have also other games, but which are way easier to learn from the rulebook. This one of the heaviest games I've learned directly from the rulebook, reading the rulebook and going through it, and you can play it, you can understand it from there. But I think, how could I put it? It could have a little bit of precision, German engineering, if you want. So let's go with the components. Components are, in my opinion, meh. Why? Because I'm a film director. I like telling stories. I play games because they tell me stories. I try to tell stories with the games I play. And I can tell a way better story if I use a meeple than if I use a cube. Engage my imagination. Don't make me force my imagination. Because with cubes, this is what you do. Every publisher should not include cubes instead of meeples. No publisher should do this. I can partly understand why they did this, maybe because of costs, but I don't think these cubes are cheaper than these little meeples. I do not think that. Also, these are cheaper than the war meeples which I have here. Also, the camels, I have some camels here. There are some lines, like I don't know where I put them. So, what I also don't like is this board. Why? Because, for example, if you have $12 and you need to pay 8, you need to put 2 5s in here, 2 5s in here, and 2 1s in here. Yeah, and if you need to pay 8, you have to think, oh yeah, I have to do, and then go with this from 2 to 4. I use coins. I have some metal coins which I use for more games like Concordia, and I'm very fine with those. This I will never use again. They could have instead put I don't think it would have been way more expensive to put cardboard money of some sort, but they would have probably need to do the artwork for it. Also, for the crops, I have these and these. I use these green ones for value 5 and these yellow ones for value 1, and the game goes a little bit faster in my opinion and less fiddly. Also they could have included also like Tolkien does, value 5 and 1 crops. In Tolkien I think there are corn, value 5 corn and value 1 corn. They could have did this, and the game, I think it would have been a little bit smoother. I really don't like that tobacco tracks. I don't like them. Also, what else? This is my main grip with the components. Other than that, the cards also, it is all the time you need to play. That's why I sleeve them, because usually you need to have the cards, especially the action cards, you need to keep them in your hand, and I sleeve them because you do all the time, you do like this. Yeah, now I want to do this and this in front of you. You will see the actions faster, and yeah, I want to do this and this. Oh, what do I want to do? I want to do that and that. Oh, where is that card? Because you will never manage to put them in an order in your hand. You have to be really, really OCD to manage to put them all the time. Oh no, this I put here. No, this. They could have made a board with all the actions and put. You choose with cubes. You would have put on a cube, then activate it. You put it up. It would have been a bit, I think, a bit of a smarter choice, and the cards should have remained only the Chronicle cards and the emphasis cards. You use the emphasis cards on 3 tracks, and I think it could have been done a bit better. But this is an eagle. This is a small, not a big problem. The artwork I like. I usually like what Harald Lieschke does. I know he's not one of the most popular board game artists in the universe. He's not as impressionist as Vincent Dutrait or even Michael Menzel. His colors are not impressionist type, but I think it manages to create with its art, if it is arkwright or colonialism or I think Cole and Colonia, he manages to draw you into an atmosphere, and I think this is the most important part of an artist and what an artist can do. So I really like the artwork. I really like the graphic design. After you play 1, 2, or 3 games, you will have no problem with the graphic design. Everything will make sense, and you can understand the game from the iconography. Let me see. Like I said, a note I have here: does the components help you to integrate the theme? These do not help. With all due respect, I see how they tried to, I mean, using these forms, I can see how you can try to help it, but I would have liked some meeples instead of these, and some camels for the trading routes, and maybe, for example, for cities, because cities are important. Cities are really important. They unlock some things. I didn't manage, I'm sorry to say, I haven't managed to tell you everything about the game. It has a lot of things to discover, and you can only discover it by playing it and playing it and playing it, and try to find strategies and try to find ways to score more points. And I can tell you that after you play 3, 4, 5, 6 games, you can start tell stories with this game. Up until then, it's more mechanisms and trying to understand the mechanisms of the game. So this is I should stop with the components. These are the components. Are good, artwork good. I like the artwork, like I said. I like the graphic design. So this is it. The now some the theme. Let's talk about the theme. I don't like I said, because it's harder. You have to play it more to really feel the theme of the game, to really feel how you develop your civilization and tell the story. Because in the end, theme is story. The story you tell. If you have a good themed game like Villages, for example, is a game which I really like, because it helps tell a story. This one can help tell you a story, but it will be first you have to feel the mechanisms of the game, and after that you can tell the story, and I think it can become more thematic. Out of the box, I this is my opinion, the game doesn't feel the most thematic game in the world, but you'll feel that like you're pulling levers at the beginning. That's what you are doing. But after that, after you understand the heritage track, after you understand the technology tracks, how you can develop your technologies, after that you can tell the story of your own civilization with your own words. So this is a game which develops itself in front of you. Is it the best game in the world? I don't think so. But it is a good one. When I'm talking about theme, it is a pretty themey one. It's not your average fighting, shooting, and I don't know, which usually your average Arkham horrors or these kind of themey games. For example, Blood Rage, which I know is a very loved game. I can see the mechanisms inside, I can see the algorithms, I can see how it goes, and if you want to compare, for example, theme, I think this one does a very good job with theme as Blood Rage does it with its theme. So if you see it for what it is, the mechanisms, which are of area control, of area majority at some point, if you attack one of the other players, the card play, the resource management, the technology tracks, and the technology advancements, the different tracks, all of these mechanisms, they gel at some point and integrate themselves into theme pretty good. So no, this is a good thing if you ask me. Let's talk about complexity. This is a complex game. You have to play 2 cards. Unlike a Vita Lacerda game, you don't play 1 card, you play 2 cards. And it seems simple, but you have to think steps ahead, and this adds to the complexity of the game. It has a lot of moving parts. It has 2 different technology. They have two different tracks there, and those add to the complexity. It is a complex game in depth and in rules also. It has a lot of rules. I think. I don't think it's as straightforward. For example, I will give you. I don't know if it's the same weight. I've played Lisboa, and I find it more thematic and more straightforward out of the box than this game. And I find them both rewarding in different ways. So it's a longer game. Because of the rules, because of the for the rules to make sense, it takes time. The play time will go down with more plays, but it is still a longer game. I think it says for 5 players around 3 hours. If you have AP players, might take longer. So for me, I think I would play this game 3. I don't think I would go for 4, maybe 4 maximum. I would play a 5-player game just to see how it is, but I might be asking for it. It may take, although I can tell you that every game I played, I never felt bored, because my brain always tried to find a way. I felt lost at some point, because where do I go from here? What do I do from here? The game gives you enough so you can try to move one step ahead, and try to score those points and to be on top in the end, to be the winner. So it is a complex game in rules and in I don't know if it's the most complex, but it is pretty complex. It's not your average Euro, let's say. Also in decision time. Sorry, it gives you a lot of options, and it doesn't tie you up at the beginning. It's more, let's say I think it's called sandboxy. It is a bit sandboxy, because this is the world. Try to do something with it, develop yourself. Of course, you have those cards which will give you a strategy, more or less, but you can develop in more ways, and you need to find your way. So it is I think it is a bit sandboxy, but I like that. I'm not against it, as long as I feel I'm doing something. I feel that my brain is not doesn't stay still for the majority of the game. Okay, let's talk about the turns. The turns are not very long, but you have to think ahead. So sometimes, because you might have some AP players there, it could take a while. That's why I said I wouldn't go for 5, because it could take. I want this card. No, I don't want these cards. I did this mistake. I shouldn't have taken I shouldn't have used these 2 cards. I shouldn't have used these cards, because I didn't thought, as heavy cardboard say, plan better, play better. You might find yourself not planning that better at some points. So that's why I think sometimes the turns might take long with AP players, but this is usually what happens in a sandboxy civ building game, which gives you a lot of options to grow. So at the end, I have here who can enjoy the game. This is not a game for everybody. This is not your average. It's in the Spielworks catalog, so you won't see it here in Romania. We are calling it hypermarkets. You can buy anything there. You can buy food and you can buy games. They're separated by an aisle. You can buy bikes. You can buy bicycles. You can buy car tires, things. A lot of things you can buy in a hypermarket. It's not the type of game. It's not Catan. It's not a game which Carcassonne, or a game which everybody will like. Also, for heavy gamers, I don't think is a game for everybody. It's a civ building game with, I think, not that much interaction. You can force some interaction, but if you can find a better way for you by not forcing the interaction, you will take that way, and usually you will find a way to do that. and the interaction is minimum. I can steal you one. I can steal one resource from you, but I don't think somebody will attack you. They will attack you only to screw you up. I don't think they will do themselves a lot of good, because they will lose. I haven't managed to show you how the battle system works, but it is costly to go into a fight. It's more going. How should I put it? It's more tension inducing, because you know he's there at the border with you and he could attack you, and you can prepare more or less, because he sees what you are doing. But this happens after a lot of plays. After you manage to if you manage to grasp the game, then you will be able to see what your opponents are doing, and then if you are so far behind with your points, you can start screwing him up. But if you screw one opponent up, the other one will run with the game, because you cannot go to attack all people. I don't think this is possible. So more ways than the other, you are trying to do it better for yourself. So it's not necessarily multiplayer solitaire, but it is more, in my experience, it has been this way. You try to do it better for yourself, like I said. So I recommend this game for people who enjoy technology tracks, who enjoy pulling levers. I think someone who likes Arkwright, if they like Civ building, which I really like Civ building. I really like Through the Ages, but I don't have the time to play it as much as I want to. One thing about the components. Let's turn back. You need a track for the Lyra and the like Through the Ages has, because you will lose on this. I think I talked about it in the presentation. So, too many final thoughts. It's already but I hope that you can see why I like the game, why I have my reserves, why certain people won't like it, or all heavy gamers will like it. It's not a straight out of the box recommendable game. So in the end I hope you saw the presentation. I hope you can see how the game feels and how the game works, and in the end, if you buy it, I really hope you will enjoy it. And until next time, I'm saying to you all, bye bye.